ya hwɛ ma ɔwɔ ma hɛn na ɔpɛyin ayɛ na ebu eyi ya ma hɛn na yɛtum na yɛhu ma ɔwɔ dɛ yɛankasa yɛ so obi so ba do na ɔde question so bi bɛba na yɛtum na akyerɛkyerɛ ma nipa kɔ no baba yɛ kakra na megye di dɛ dɔm nhu wɔnyi mu kakra kɔgyina ya nti ɔpɛyi megye di dɛ nyibiri so yɛ kyia o
megye so meyɛ
na apɔ mu te dɛ
nyame adom kakra
edwuma mu so
nyame adom
nyibiri so megye di dɛ yɛabɛserɛ a yɛaba office yɛ King's Court Law megye di dɛ Northampton na mɔ debi a yɛbɛba biara no mmɛn no ba mbɛgye immigration update na nka yɛde aboa yɛn nuanom a wɔwɔ kuro yi mu a wɔn a wɔde COS ba obi a wɔawɔre wɔ kuro mu ha wɔagyae nneɛma immigration nsɛm no da ano yɛ kasa ɔyɛ bebree nti ɛnna do yi so no ma ɛwɔ ma ɛwɔ etiefu no obi wɔ mu a sabi ontum yɛyɛ live no nhwɛ but ekyiri no ɔnam Facebook a bɔn na wakɔto na wɔgyina hɔ na wɔahwɛ kakra ma yɛbɛkan da amanfo yɛwura yɛ brada Frankie waba do ɔhyɛ program no ma unuanom na unuanom so wɔnhwɛ yɛkyia wɔ bebree yɛ brada Frankie kɔ Ghana ebodo asomdwe yɛ dɛ nkɔpɔn ase dɛ nyame ɔnyiwa ebodo asomdwe mu ma ɔda wakoma do biara ne nyankopɔn so ɔyɛ ma ɔpɛyin yɛdi dɛ naawɔtwe so dɛ mmerɛ enyim no immigration nsɛm da no da biara bibi ba ma ɔwɔ a wɔwɔ ma hɛn no aka na questions a wɔwɔ akyi no so yɛtum na ɛde amɔ yɛbi kyerɛ
okay medase medo bibi ase mɛhyɛ sɛ bɔn mi sima baako na so
Burkina no ni o na ɔsɛ Kwame oyi Facebook wo
medo bibi ase sɛ de bia munya akwanya na mogyebre na mutie na mohwɛ sɛ kakra na no say this week a lot of immigration updates about the final pre-settled EU status now. Pre-settled status now. Say the simple way you say more agonyum kakra. And first, no, we are skilled, we are pre-settled person. We be our in and answer papa na obviously be in yes, so coffee free UK for a period of 2 years. Oba onyan krata ne bi mu krata de twem. Sisi ano o mayi sad na free hon ti. Even so we free UK more than 2 years obetimi awam deadline no 5 years nti nse go am koka Ghana because I'm free ha kakra ko other countries for a period of more than 2 years if you want na omuntimi enwam bi mu no nti sisi ano ombetimi awam as of Friday, I they can still enter the country if they've stayed for more than 2 years. I think say because simple say Brexit no more free having because I'm here you for because skilled worker visa no and what factory work near that any at the and money has
factory work is not build the country no
and it's
more.
not a building country anymore. Logistics moving in and out and things like that. Nti come here I say omo free target near abrofo no free mu before 2020 no na mo kwan mo wawram which ma be adwuma but you say be adwuma so say Ghana ni na also fa ho a that is a good news no
into no ondum biribi a wotuma abande or skill workers yeah what they COS na to buy you know wotuma ama ho kwa there when your factory work.
I mean a decision that has to be taken by the government. Now that it's a political year, I mean, we have only about 2 months to go for elections. There's no way any reasonable government will do that. Because among bets matter abano, ensure that fee say majuma. It is also a be migrant pay other many jobs are be having. And sure say BMCC here.
Doctor Obolus big.
Yeah, Bolus big.
Oh yeah, government in power no.
Government power, yes, correct.
Okay. Yo, immediately I ana yebuda yetiena. Yeah, ba na your education platform. As far as King's Court law is concerned, they bring the immigration update to your doorstep. Into the mayepele ya in the debia na ba na yabaji information aba. We did the first no watching first one there. Oh yeah, one more ukuta pre-settled. Oh yeah, 5 years now. A no EU no. Nakatna Ghana 2 years in your problem or document no. Say no damania no. Why then?
But sure, there is a feedback.
Yeah.
What was your answer? Or join lawyer join the check.
Okay.
Okay.
You lawyer what the casa?
Sorry.
Check in.
I think says it's here be okay. But Brabak, are you okay?
Okay, so now.
Yeah, I think I joined, so there was a feedback on the system. So I'll come back again. Yeah. So
yeah.
Quickly, Pacho, that's a pa Nipacro Timicasa, where there was a say what me actually addresses. So, can you wait me with our question in him?
And I'm saying, oh yeah, the more pre-settled, no, yeah, can want some see, I'm getting them 5 years. After the 5 years, no, about no be bio. After 5 years, no, ubikita 2.5. The may you get the actually that 2.5 residency, na 5 years residency. Difference no woman no balance no be more 5 years we from yan kan woma ofi Ghana by document aka so wo kroma no obi nya 5 years obi nya 2.5 ayi obi mo wan ti ase.
Okay, quickly member sa question is nti ati4 nya hwefo no e am wait match my address so I'll just give another update because updates we never boy in last week I think it's a Friday now, the same decision by Thursday or so, and I said this week, last week, I would say, and the same decision by. It's very important. It's important because it affects not just married British nationals or people with indefinite leave to remain. It affects skilled workers and their partners as well. Case be by a friend of Escobar versus Secretary of State of Home Department. Escobar ni free Bolivia, Obakroma, I think it's 2004. Now, about the student nearby, and I'm saying, we one call. And on in them 2014, who baby no nya, Oba, or British or Wareno. And Otimina and Crata was say, O Matna, Bebre, in Fibria, Warinuni, in Krata 2.5 sir. But because no you overstay and you know sir ka 5 years and quite permanent residence no and because of the overstay and you know also call for 10 years 10-year route and he wa call for 2.5 kakra and he nyame nchadum ka nyame ya dum April 2023 and obenya 10 years no and so December 2022 call Bolivia oba back January wana owura mu no efikasim for ene ni nyankita mu de na de omni say na ne ho kani no oni na nya ntawantawa kakra ne yire oni na nya ntawantawa kakra nti say oba no I reported no to withdraw the sponsorship. Okay, or reporting to withdraw the sponsorship. Omunjai. Okay, but Obama reporting to withdraw the sponsorship. Obedu Chroma say no, January na application for catching so yeah, Obama on it one or withdraw sponsorship. And Sisiano only ne ha I mean yenti minji wo Chroma say it is akofi. Na so na adena man tromi at least wasn't come to me say 60 days notice. This 60 days notice and just go work as in Kwana de Momo a generic thing I dema British nationals partners and everything. A moment if 60 days notice in October, but my name's one trying to email more so be home. Now say na Uranus one a password into no. It be an arena in a word lady.
Okay.
But person for and just I didn't what they call court. In fact, your man Rakoma say into your bono. I
call back.
Yeah, and the airport no drew in Ancasan and Sabon go back to Bolivia. I said, Martina Kroma 20 years. And see, I don't know, much me, I mean, we say now, much me back. Now, a court. The court means a minute, we did too many. He said, Ranisha say, a son said, because for man 60 days notice, you know. Now I was saying, or make it any other application before the end of the visa, but we'll make it any other application and see. Unfortunately for him, in 20 years and over now, Ukroma say no a plumber, Ashim, I got in Ukroma, Bolivia. It's holiday no call him say, we so curfew, say, that is the situation on the ground. In the skilled worker category, it applies to you. If you are going through a period of divorce, it's better. But if you have a period of separation for a period of time, it's important that you monitor your emails. Okay, because if the sponsor reports you, they may be able to say, especially the EU nationals, no, and that's the EU laws, no, are separated. But UK laws, no, a partner of a British person, partner of a settled person, partner of a person with humanitarian grounds or asylum, refugee status, and a skilled worker partner, Mubiano, it doesn't, and it's only partner, and also a partner, new and Sana, while withdrawing a sponsorship. The same way employers need to withdraw sponsorship free migrants, no. Migrants should be withdrawn the sponsorship every partner no, because the partner derives the sponsorship from the migrant derives the sponsorship from the business. So once the business revoke the license, it affects both of you. But even if the business has not revoked the license, the partner can revoke your license by reporting to withdraw sponsorship. In TM said, I think I cry over no. It's important to say the better extreme near 20 years. So that's one of the key things.
It doesn't matter how long I want to do. So moon divorce him will be along Quano Quaya.
Someone divorce here, so which my reporting. It doesn't matter how long. But anything efficacy for send this 60-day notice no. This can you 60 days notice now. And complete my application on the 20-year residence.
No, actually,
now I'm training him, and also with my application on the 10-year residence. No, I'm training him. So what's not going 10 years lawfully? April. In the other, I'm going to and I'm at Snaproma both lawfully and unlawfully for 20 years. Instead of Mama Snaproma, and I be a no baby, Mamma Snaproma, and now skilled worker, now whatever category which imagine. But when who email no, that's a key thing. I'm perceiving in your eche say when who email no. Oh yeah, migrant now HANA agency application it's about time you have to make sure say you have access to your own email portal. So you can respond to the Home Office in case of any difficulties, because the judge in his judgment made mention of the fact that email now is taking public policy notice. Okay? Public policy notice. The reason is that say anchor on my acquaintance one who email no. It's me sure. I mean you bet me aye pacho kate phone aye. Yeah. So I mean ohwe yanko bet me aboa masa asimesi nyane enkrata o hase. However, so nyaye sa kim ankameti hai ankameka so one check email kura nyahwe, because judge say one check email na otimi efa kwami so eba, because say ohwe bet me open floodgate ni no. And yetimi enye sa ontimi allow appeal no, but hwe anka beboa nipa ko no hwe ne asetna watena okrom ha ne sa nyoma na bitima bo na appeal no, but for public policy grounds he didn't allow that. So these are the key things ebitimi aye. So that's the case of Escobar. There's another case, maybe Bobo no top answer
number. It was done in papa bio so to atna as a BB we business bi wa no so dan case no so at.
E be ko na me we answer na ko. A fair case bi so Ayula ye Yala Tani. So that case, it involves a Nigerian national application pre-settled EU application. Oh yeah, near refusing no. Not that two near refusing no. Not that two near refusing no. Then the court has now made a pronouncement. Say more applications no. If you make an application and the application is refused, then you make the same application again. Then the Home Office can refuse your application and ban you from applying again. Okay, you wouldn't have any right of appeal. Okay, section.
Instead of refuse, the person didn't appeal for it, but he rather reapply it. Okay.
Yeah, reapply. I mean, this it happens. A bit of apart from the fact that the Home Office can deem your case to be unfounded, which will make other application be even a fact more. You bet refuse you because of public policy. Okay, when you are making an application, don't make a bogus application. May application we now may the pet time and answer may application we now. Certificate of application in T. May their name kakra. Refuse you because why some bogus application in and we tiamra.
Okay.
We call it you are attempting to frustrate the immigration process. Okay. It's a good decision on Sabitiniaka. So for people your application which may be to one year, I mean, it's a very dangerous thing. The case of Ayula can really expose you. See, Mr. Remo, there's another case that is important to all of us. There is Mekatra Care Companies who say once your license is revoked, that's not all. We've successfully gained a lot of companies their licenses back on the basis of the fact that Home Office did not follow the right processes to revoke the license. Even as at Friday, there was a company. New Hope Limited, a care company, Yamiadum, court na asaji license back. So there are a lot of things that can go on. Back to your question. Before we go on the live and take much more questions, back to your question. Let's say there is a difference between the 2.5 years and the 5 years.
Yeah.
So the rules of engagement in the UK is that they try to monitor the migrants and ensure, say, everyone coming to the UK must have a sponsor.
Okay.
Everyone coming to the UK must have a sponsor. If you are British, a partner of a British person, your sponsor is a British person. If you're a partner of an EU, your sponsor is the EU. If you're a child of an EU, if you're an adopted, there is always a sponsor. Okay. The only route that has no sponsorship is the asylum route. Okay. And a route that is not within the confines of UK laws, asylum, humanitarian protection. These are so this particular kind of routes, say EU routes, the Home Office gives you 5 years because there's nothing for you to show anything to show. Asylum, you're granted 5 years. EU, you're granted 5 years, and these kind of things. But with sponsorship and stuff like that, it's a British national discretionary leave to remain, federal leave to remain. They give you 2.5 just to monitor you. So the it's still valid.
Okay.
So what's about behavior? So that's the difference between the 2.5 years and then the 5 years routes of residence.
Yeah, no more we feel that ever share page because ya be no aduna yesua. You would obi mo start what the questions na do what they but nyama onenyi dawa what they you into the open say make trouble 5 years now we are. What next?
What 5 years is it why?
Make 5 years as a EU partner.
Okay.
No, maybe 5 years. After 5 years, no, I don't know how they may apply for.
I mean, indefinite leave to remain. So once you live here for 5 years, the purpose is to check whether you can successfully leave the country without breaking any of our laws and everything. So once you run through it without any problem, then you have the right to apply for indefinite leave to remain. They can extend it for another 5 years, but obviously you have the right for permanent residence, so you can apply for that. And yeah, that's how it is. So that's the Home Office have a decade. They could have given you indefinite leave to remain even at entry, but they don't want to entertain criminals and people who may be breaking their laws and everything. So they give you 5 years to monitor you, and once you have the 5 years, in case you've not breached any of the suitability requirements, I mean, imprisonment, dangerous and serious crimes, and dishonesty and things like that, they can give you the permanent residence and make you a member of this country. Yeah.
So, time being nowhere will be or apply for British book.
I mean, so British book, it depends on the category of visas you have. If it's ideally, the Immigration Act itself indicates, okay, immigration law updates. Immigration Act itself makes it clear. So if you leave in the country for a period of 5 years continuously, then you have a permanent residence. There is another period of 12 months where you have to observe you on your permanent residency and someone apply for British passport.
Okay.
If you're a child, the difference, the rules are separate. But assume we are talking about adults and what background say. So you have permanent residence for after 5 years. Then you have 1 year on indefinite leave to remain. Then you can apply for your British passport. In some cases, you can apply for it without meeting all those requirements. But then the Secretary of State has a discretion. There are some cases where children have lived here for maybe 3 years or 2 years or even 1 year, but then they're able to apply for British citizenship for them. Okay, on the basis that it was impossible for them to live their life naturally in the UK. When I say live their life naturally, I mean in this particular case, the Accra no British, but then you're British nationals, and then papa and mommy. I won't come be an Accra, say I also go British router. Na on intino ye delay your massa almost go trip no one catch me. And so all these things, we combine everything together, petition the Home Office at home. I mean, you can exercise your discretion towards this child because the only essence is akora no oni bibia mo be examine for. So when you need here, say you are examining him for
particular
criminal behavior and some money citizenship. Akora no, there's no criminal behavior caveat. So he's only supposed to live here for 5 years before you grant him. But because of these difficulties, can you grant him earlier? The Secretary of State exercised discretion in that matter and granted the citizenship for that child.
Your brother and noble, so we miss a question. Be your sister Regina Mensa, your more good evening, Wapo, Mr. Day. Pay no for the baby sound. EU, I wager crat, other crat yaman about 5 years. None about way do now one up, not better do. But took it 5 years. Utumukawa Wagana.
So, Pastor says this to be
Me waba, me EU parent.
yeah.
Me kuta indefinite, but remember the kita 5 years.
Yeah.
Remember no 5 years na onya we mpepa no mono. Utumeze kwa wala na yere wa Ghana oyemeba.
Yeah, so that is clear. So when you have 5 years, I mean, EU laws are quite separate and distinct. The rules are that if you're an EU national or a family member of an EU national, and you have pre-settled status or settled status, it doesn't matter. Once you have a status here, you can sponsor someone in this country, and he say, or pre-settled status could be sponsor. I'm adding a rubber. When you settle status, could be easier. However, mind you that the application being made is not under EU. The application is under Appendix FM, UK laws. And he also Obanunya at least £29,000 on account, and also was significant savings of about £88,000. If you want to ignore that £29,000 savings now.
Although proof do why
88,000.
£88,000
in savings.
Oh, the na account ma the miscan on all for me.
Yeah. Savings. And see, that's how that works. But on your savings are also say a juma or you know, you're trying to fear which means £29,000. That's how it works. Yeah.
Okay. Yo, ma we feel that share page, you know, your side no make your TikTok. At Clement Rekun TikTok or your lawyer Nankasa TikTok account. I would to my send the private questions now. We to me you no. Them na you were no share page in my uni and uni be so in ye being share. Usani ye na na ye share ha. They would to me na yet ye to acquire ba and yen inkrata some no ye bibia ba kama dia ma na ma was so majo.
Quick one. There's a question says, I'll respond to it quickly. It says, please, I came here with my partner. He's a skilled worker and he has changed his sponsorship, but I think he's not continued. I don't need a continuation anyway. I am still on the old visa. What does the law say? Appendix FM, okay. Okay, so Appendix FM. I mean, the rules are that apart from the Escobar case, which I wrote to you, your sponsor, okay, which is your partner, if you're a dependent, your partner can write to withdraw your license. That is there. The procedure, I don't think I'll show. I mean, most people. I mean, if you come to the office, I can discuss that with you because some people can abuse the law. Yeah. If they have that, they know what they are doing, they can abuse it. So for you, if you are a skilled worker, and then your partner switches to another sponsor, the law protects you and can maintain, so far as you're on an old visa, if the old visa is for 3 years, you can maintain that old visa without switching to join your sponsor, which is your partner on the new visa. The rules are that once you're on the old visa, your visa will stay the same until the expiry of the old visa. Okay? So you don't have to jump on it. And if you don't jump on it, I think it answers a question. There is a gentleman who came here last week, but I was supposed to send that response to that gentleman. But his case was quite different. So the rules are that if you're on an old visa your visa will stay the same. So far as your sponsor, your partner successfully switched before the curtailment. Okay? The case is different if both of you are given 60 days. A month of 60 days, okay? Then your partner switches out, you have to join. Because what it means is that your old visa is coming to an end
to
60 days. However, if you were not given any 60 days, but your partner switched to another sponsor, so far as you maintain on your own sponsorship, your own visa, you don't have to do anything. Okay? So if it's valid for 3 years, you can still work for 3 years. There's no qualms about it at all. And so that is the answer to the question being asked.
There's also TikTok questions. No? Facebook for na ose kwa me ube yiwa no na bonso ube yiwa no ntino ma quick one ya bodu ya dawase the Ishmael Okran ya dawase there so I join here or live one share program no na bra yisiadi no ya be ye pain nche on church here na yehu the day that share program no yen nyina yesua questions no there you be here there wo question ebise bia no ya ba obeyiwa no bra lawyer wo he no oye the Ishmael cross good job lawyer. But please let me hear from you why. Me get the lawyer office number into aya na afra. You are going to see poster. Oh yeah, lawyer pa the nickname pa no you find that all about ya sign at your judgment no do. Me get the debia no platform ya ba dey ebosua de na yesua immigration in summer orokodo yenuanum bebre na wodi COS wodi abekuro yi mu na so woba na edwuma summit bebre shan wosu pa gba ya gba yi de bra lawyer we no mwo bia na obutum oda abo da mo krofo no we tum na abo ho obi a osada wala oba na office no mbala na office and the Ishmael also I on to kakra no when no you be lawyer do for the dan and fra and wait to fool if you did to we him as okro
and so yeah because so I think it's a TikTok. A few questions here that
na aba Facebook na ebeyi na ose kwa mi no yin na bonso ma also obusa ntigi enko.
Brilliant. So quick one to Nana say Kwame. 1 second, sorry. So Nana say Kwame, maybe question I will be saying.
Okay, bonso can be said first.
So please